Yeah, hello and welcome to this rapid game on lead chess. Essolessek. Lessek is my opponent. What am I playing? Okay, let's go c5. Play a Sicilian, mixing it up. So what to do here? Can try to go for... I had some good success with the Maroxy bind. I don't know if I get it though. Let's try. So I'm not getting the Maroxy. Rather a normalish dragon setup. Bishop c4. Now there are a couple of things I can play. I think castles. Bishop b3. No, castles. So this is probably not so critical because of knight takes c4, I assume. Yeah, knight takes e4. I think I can play this move. Take on e4 now for the d5 fork. And it's potentially very simplifying though. Yeah, d6 is also possible. I want to have a little bit more tension on the board. Maybe knight takes e4 is a theoretically more reliable move, let's say. But in general, the dragon structure is believed to be very okay with white castling short. More critical are those sharp lines. Plays f4 now. So that looks a little bit loose. But I don't have a tactical way of handling this. Rook c8. That looks like a standard move. I'm not sure how this is played, to be honest. There is some pressure on f7. Yeah, taking and bishop c6 looks like the most normal choice. Just wonder if this is really correct, but I think it's okay. So bishop c6, I don't think e5 is dangerous. And I have knight d7 next. a7 is hanging, but e4 is also hanging, so that's not going to be an issue. It's a very normal play to trade on d4, and I want to trade one or two pairs of minor pieces because of my space disadvantage. And he probably wants to push e5 in some way. e5, d takes e5, f takes e5, no. So here, a move that is looking interesting here is to play e5 immediately. Pawn takes knight d7, but it looks wrong somehow. Knight d7 is the most normal move. I'm going to do that. So he trades. It is not so easy for white in this position to find a constructive plan. It's not so easy. f5 gives me the e5 square, and e5 is opening up my bishop on c6 and weakens the pawn structure. It's of course also not entirely trivial for me to do something, but I think I'm starting with this check and putting the queen onto c5. This is making e5 more difficult and activates the queen. b5 now is a possibility. Knight to d5 is a move that is to be reckoned with. I don't know, probably just rook e8. The queen move is a bit surprising. I mean, queen d4 is a move that I would be quite happy about. The queen trade is useful for black here. As it normally is in the Sicilian. In the Sicilian structure, you usually want to trade, as there are weaknesses for white, a little bit clearer weaknesses. e4 is a slightly weakish pawn, and c2 is on a half open file. The black pawn structure is more difficult to attack. It's very compact. Yeah, queen d4 is clearly his intention. I just wonder what I should play so that is that he is actually encouraged to play it. I don't quite know. Maybe b5. I'm not quite certain if I want to do this, but this is at least threatening b4 and bishop to b5. Yeah, b4 bishop b5 wins an exchange. That's a threat. But b5 is also a move that fits into this position on general terms. b4 or a5 a4 are useful ideas. Not sure what he's doing here. Queen d4. Yeah. So I don't mind that, of course. That's a useful trade. So do I play a5 in this position or not? I think I do. Yeah, a3 looks quite normal here. Maybe bishop d5, but then I can probably take. Yeah, a3 is the most standard looking choice. Yeah, so knight c5 is probably a tempo gain, as he wants to keep the bishop. Bishop a2. Okay. E5 I can always take. This is not an issue at all. Maybe rook b8 and rook fc8 next, so that I have both rooks on the queen side. I'm intending also knight c5 and then b4, or b4 immediately, maybe. So it seems that e5 is on his agenda. Okay. Do I go b4 here or not? b4 takes knight a2 is possible, however. Yeah, so maybe I'll jump into c5 and leave the d file so that e4, e5 is not a threat anymore. He had this e5 idea with the knight back on d7. There was a lot of pressure on that piece. And what I want to do is, like with b4, undermine the cover of the e4 pawn. So let's see what he does. If he goes e5, I think I can just take it. This should be okay. You have to understand, if he goes e5 and I go d takes, f takes, it's a weakish pawn, really. Okay, so this was one of the possible moves. The move b4 now is very interesting. b4, bishop c6, b takes. He's got b4 at the end. Can take, can go knight e6. Okay, that's not a problem. So yeah, but then b4 is just good. That leads to a good structure for me. So the line I was calculating was okay, take on c6, take on c3, b4, ab, knight e6. Okay, here I'll take with the pawn, of course. Otherwise that wouldn't make any sense. Wow, what is he doing here? It's very quickly played, and it looks like completely lost almost. I'm threatening knight e6 here, you know, winning f4, and if I win this pawn, white's pawn structure is completely ruined. So knight e6. Oh, let's not rush things. Let's not rush things. But knight a6 is the only other move, and it doesn't make any sense. So okay, knight e6. He's probably playing rook d3. But then I take f4 with a tempo, and then the only thing that is somewhat irritating is that he might keep the b pawn. Okay, so I just take f4. e5 doesn't work. It's got b5 on the cards. I mean, it's not, again, it's not the end of the world, but so where to put it? So rook here. How do I play this? I would like to keep my pawn there, of course. Rook fc8, rook c3, rook takes b5. This would be cute, but it is not forced. Is there anything else? Knight e2 looks fairly ridiculous. We will take this next. Again, it's not a big issue that he takes it, but if I can keep it, this rook f1. Even g5 makes some sense. Okay, I put it here. Now rook c3, rook b5 is very bad for white. So we cannot take this. I wonder what he will do. Maybe just g3 or something. No, h3 is hanging. Sorry. That doesn't make any sense. What am I overlooking? I'm just taking this here now. That's a pin. I mean, without the b pawn, white's position should be completely losing. What am I missing here? Don't get it. Rook f1. So I didn't miss anything. He just goes into this losing ending. It's a pawn down and it's a very bad structure for white. I will most likely win material. C, G, E pawn. One of those three I will win. I don't think he can defend them all. This one. Okay. Sorry, this is possible. Okie dokie. King up to e5 is the most normal way of doing it. Let's do it. Rook f1, king e5. Yeah. Okay, so all the way to e5. Yeah, maybe I'm just threatening to take on d3. Knight d3, pawn takes, king d4, and I'm snatching the pawn. Takes, king. Yeah, it probably wins. I also have the check. In general, I don't like to take there. It probably just wins though. Takes, pawn takes, king d4, rook a1, check. Nah, it just wins. I mean, the knight is obviously a lot stronger than the bishop, but if you can trade it down to this kind of ending, it doesn't matter all that much. Yeah. So, let's have a look there. I think he played a lot far too quickly in the critical phase of the game. Maybe I missed some stuff as well. I don't know. We'll see what happens here with the analysis. So we have a completely normal position here. I think knight takes e4 is probably the most principled move. I didn't do this because I felt that I maybe trade too much. I mean, to try to win, you know. I saw this line and I kind of thought that, okay, maybe I'm okay, but I'm trading the whole board, yeah. I win b2, he wins c6, and maybe this is okay, but it's not very exciting. So I played d6, which cannot be bad. Played h3. F4, rook c8. It's all super normal, so I took it. And bishop c6. It's interesting. The engine here is advocating f5 at first, not at a particularly high depth though. And now queen e2 was played. That also didn't feel like a bad move. Knight d7 and the trade. Rook d1. Yeah, I felt it's a good idea to put the queen onto c5, so I went with this. It's not the only thing. There's a question in the chat. It was a question about knight takes e4, and I just said that I didn't want to trade too much. Queen d3 maybe is a bit lame. d5. Okay, now you see the engine is also favoring black already. It's it makes it's easy for white for black to play. Rook b8 is also liked by the comp. Knight c5, because white has this e5 idea, so I went here. And the move b4 is not liked by the engine. Yeah, it's clear that this is a move, of course, but I thought the b4 would be nice, but it seems it isn't all that great. Yeah, I mean, one line that was not played here, I was thinking maybe he just recaptures, or what is the engine's, why is the engine not liking this? e5, rook c8, what is wrong with this in particular? The engine wants to do this. This and then b4. I saw that, but isn't that good? I thought this is good for black. This is this is a game. That is just a game. Well, maybe it isn't that great. It's possible that I had something that is a more convincing, but I like this position. The main problem is rook takes c3. This is just basically losing, I believe. The engine here labeled this as a mistake, but it's probably it's a real blunder. After rook b5, I'm getting rid of the only worrisome pawn on the board. The pawn is gone now, and yeah, I've got the much better structure. Yeah, many things win probably, and can also just keep everything on the board, but this is probably the most straightforward to make progress in the position. Yeah, okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.